Aeneid, Book 1, lines 195 to 209. This is Aeneas's big pep talk to his thoroughly dispirited comrades. They've just survived the massive storm sent via Aeolus by Juno. They have washed ashore. They're missing over half of their boats. They're not quite sure who has lived and who has died. And they are settling down to a meal that is being made with the scavenged grain from the ships and the deer that Aeneas has just hunted to provide each ship with some meat. He's now cracking out the good stuff, the wine, the wina, which Acestes, a former Trojan king who had settled in Sicily. By the way, Sicily poetically is referred to as Trinaccio, the tree as in three-sided, because Sicily is a three-sided island. So, from the beginning, the wina, the wine, quae here, comma which, since wina is neuter and plural, we have the quae neuter and plural as well, relative pronoun. The wine which good Acestes. Now, Acestes founded a new city in Sicily as a colony, and in Greek tradition at the very least, those who found colonies are considered heros, almost semi-divine status. And so this heros here is in apposition to Acestes. So the wine which good King Acestes, the hero, had honorarit. Now this is from honoro honorare. It is a syncopated pluperfect indicative. So which he had filled up in wineskins then, at that time, on the shore of Sicily, Trinaccio, if you want to leave it in the poetic form, that's fine, and had given dative indirect object to them as they are departing, as they are ab eo, going away, because this is the present active participle of ab eo. Finally, we get to the verb here, he divided it. So he's sharing, he's passing around the wine. He divided the wine, which good hero Acestes had filled up at that time in wineskins on the shore of Sicily, and had given to them as they are ab eoing, going away. And he mulket, he soothes their mairent ia pectora. Now, verb front half, nt, adjective back half, we've got a present active participle here. So they're mourning, hearts, chests, breasts, and the above are fine. And he soothes them, ablative of means, with words. O Sokii. Sokii here, remember, is ally, but it's using it a little more tenderly than that. So, friends, oh friends. Because neque ignari, not unaware of, we got a double negative, litotes. For we are not at all unaware of evils. Now this genitive goes with unaware of, that makes sense. Ante, therefore, is just kind of a adverbial before now. Now, sokii, because he's talking directly to them, is in the vocative case, as is this participle as well. Now, it's from pati or pati passa sum, which, since it's pati or, is a deponent verb. So this actually is a perfect active participle, but don't worry about the terminology. We're just going to translate it as one, O men who have suffered. Grau ior, here, comparative adjective. They haven't just suffered serious things, they've suffered more serious things. Earlier understood. A god, a non-specified god, will give a finem, an end, dative, to these things, specifically those evils we were just talking about, quoque also. So these malorum are not going to last forever. A God will give an end to them also. Now, what are these bad things that we've talked about already? You akestis. Now the verb is akedo, akedere, akesi, akestum. This is the syncopated perfect indicative. Now we usually see the syncopated third person with the ere. This time it's akesestis, contracts to akestis. So you have approached both the Scylla marabium. Now, Scylla here was that monster that lurked in the cave and snatched sailors out of the ships as they sailed by. On the other side of the Charybdis whirlpool, which makes a loud noise, hence penitus sonantes. So again, you have approached both the rabium, the rabium here, the rabies, it's actually where I get the word rabies from. It's the madness of Scylla, but really with the sense that it's the dogs. Because remember, Scylla's, at the end of Scylla's legs / tentacles / whatever you want to call them, were dog heads. So you have approached the raging or the madness of Scylla and the howling, present active participle, rocks. And they're the penitus, the deeply howling rocks, otherwise known as Charybdis, on the opposite side. And you, experti technically by itself is a perfect participle, but we're implying a verb to be, and so therefore, by their forces combined, we have a perfect indicative. By the way, experior is a deponent verb, just like we saw above with patior, and so therefore, this is technically a perfect active participle, which technically doesn't exist in Latin. Thank you, deponents. So, and you have experienced et, not connecting two things, is translated as also. You have experienced also the Cyclopean rocks, when the Cyclopes, not just one, and just like in the Odyssey, with Polyphemus throwing rocks at Odysseus' ship as it's sailing away, but a whole bunch of Cyclopes, because I guess Aeneas annoyed them even more. And the Cyclopean rocks, you have experienced also the Cyclopean rocks. Revocate, we've got an imperative here, and it's the first of two imperatives. Revocate, call back your minds. So calm yourself down, get your minds back into the proper state of being. And send away, understood, your gloomy fear. Forsan, perhaps. We have another et that's not linking two things. So again, we're going to translate it as an even. Perhaps even these things. Now, hike is neuter. It is by itself. And so therefore, we're going to translate it as these things. But since it is plural, you wabit here, singular. Perhaps someday it will help. This uses as an impersonal it. It, bo-be-be-boo, future, will help. Meminise is the infinitive of the verb memini, to remember. Perhaps one day, olim, it will help to remember et haec even these things. Cue Kelly Clarkson, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Per, through various, now causos here, do not confuse it with causos, which means causes. This is through various crises or downfalls or incidents or misfortunes, something along those lines. Per again, anaphora, through tot so many. Discrimina here in the sense of turning points, are almost like dangerous situations. or turning points of situations, dangers of situations. Tendimus, we head towards. Now, tendo again has a sense of stretching. So we're heading for there. It doesn't always mean necessarily we're going to get there yet. They have not yet gotten there yet. And they're heading toward Latium. So again, through various misfortunes, through so many circumstances or changes or crises of circumstances, we head towards Latium, where the fates, fata here, capital F, ostendo, point out quiet, literally, see, it's probably better, settlements. Ilik, to that place, because hic means to this place, or I apologize, in that place, because hic, in this place right here, ilik, in that place over there, they're not there yet. We don't have a main verb, and so we're going to imply the verb to be. It is phos. This verb has a lot of connotations for the Romans. Phos is what is divine will. It's related to the verb for fari fata sum, to speak. So this is what is the will of the gods. It is the will of the gods that the kingdom, the poetic plural, of Troy, resurgere, rise again. It is the will of the gods that the kingdom of Troy rise again. Don't forget, this is resurgo, resurgere, resurrexi, resurrectum, where we get the word resurrection from. So again, it is rising from its ashes. Two imperatives. Here's the first one, durate, endure. And that's a command from their general and leader and king. And servate here means protect, not to serve. Protect. And who are you protecting? You're protecting vos, reflexive, yourself. The met suffix on that is for emphasis. So protect yourselves, understood, underline, underline, underline. For, dative, for favorable situations. So he's saying we just got to survive this and we will have better days. That's his pep talk. Unfortunately for Aeneas, he's lying, or at least he does not feel quite so hopeful on the inside. And we know this because Virgil gives us this insight in the next few lines. Refert, remember, literally it's to bring back or report, but just generically he spoke. He said, talia, these things, such things, with his voice. And at the same time, he pretends, simulat. Here we get the word like simulation. At the same time, he is sick with huge worries. He pretends hope will too in his face, in his expression. He presses dolorem here, grief. Altum deep, ablative of location in his heart. So again, he speaks such things with his voice, and he pretends hope in his face, though sick with immense concerns. He presses grief deep in his heart.